Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's definitely been a minute. I haven't recorded a video or sat down to talk and share where I'm at on my journey and where I'm at just in life in a while. But I've really been feeling the draw and the call to sit down again and start having these talks and sharing how I feel and what I'm thinking and what I'm going through, because at the end of the day, sometimes the problem just isn't you, and sometimes the problem just really is your environment and the things that you keep putting yourself through. I think that I've gotten really caught up in focusing on things that don't matter as much to me and sacrificing my time and literally my freedom to do things for money or just to survive. And it has really disconnected me from the things that matter most. And I've had a very interesting last couple of months. It's been almost a year since I've sat down and figured out something to say and something to talk about. I think that it's definitely time for me to get back into the things that matter most. A lot of the times, I find myself getting really good at self-care or really good at pursuing things that I'm passionate about, and then loving that feeling and loving how I feel and falling off of the routine and the habits that made me feel that way to begin with. I think that, your environment and the things that you do and the things that you work on every day are what make you who you are and make your journey what it is. And I've had a lot of time to think about what I'm doing for like my career and what I'm doing on the daily for my habits and how that impacts just my inner feelings and what I think about and what I spend my time doing. So I wanted to just sit down for a minute and share some thoughts with everyone. I hope everyone's doing good. I know that this is just like an on the fly video, but I know I need to come out with something and to share something because that's what I've been called to do. And I know that my voice and my wisdom on my very short time on this earth has value, and that what I'm meant to do is share that with people. I've been thinking a lot about just like my career and, being an adult and working my way through life. And I think that it's important to find value in all phases of life, especially the present, and taking more control over like your choices and what you choose to do every day can really help you discover like what you're meant to do and what you're meant to share with the world. Everyone has a gift, everyone has gifts, everyone has value. And if you're not doing everything that you can to share that and express that with the world and with whoever wants to hear it, that you're sort of failing yourself and you start to feel kind of distant and disconnected from yourself and your journey and the things that matter most to you. And I've definitely been feeling that disconnect. So I also wanted to just say, like, it's not just you. It's not just me feeling this way. A lot of us feel disconnected. A lot of us feel like our journey just isn't where it is supposed to be. And I've had a lot of time to think about how, like, my own choices and the things that I choose to do and the habits that I choose to pursue play a lot into that. And I think that taking time to do things that you love and enjoy is sort of like the first thing that will reconnect you and make you feel like you're doing what you're meant to do. Personally, I've been pursuing careers and environments that do not serve me and stressing myself out and just not doing anything that I love and enjoy. And I feel the disconnect and I feel the discontent of my life and my career and my just everyday. I've fallen off of my self-care. I've fallen off of my health. Like, I've fallen off of feeling that love and that connection. And for some people, that's spirituality. And like for me, a large part of that is my spirituality. And spirituality is such a broad term, and that's something that I hope to discuss in the future. But for today, I just wanted to kind of like vent and get out how I've been feeling. The disconnect has been real, and I know that there are so many ways to reconnect. And for me, reconnecting looks like pursuing things that feel best for me and that focus on like myself for now. A lot of the times people can get like caught up in things that don't serve them, especially if you come from an environment or a childhood or just experiences where you have to focus on other people. You are really good at tuning out yourself. You're really good at tuning out what you feel and what feels right to you because you were so focused on other people or so focused on, trying to be what other people want you to be or doing what other people want you to do. You forget to check in with yourself, and you forget that at the end of the day, what really matters is you and the environment that you're in. Of course, being kind to people and respecting people and being compassionate are big keys of being a human and being a being on this earth and moving through life in a successful way that leaves a positive impact on everyone's life. But if you're not checking in with yourself and focusing in on what matters most to you and the things that you value and the things that make you feel like yourself, you're just going to feel stagnant in everything that you do. And I've definitely felt not necessarily the repercussions, but I felt the opposite end of that. And I felt the effects of not pursuing things that feel right to me and that I'm passionate about. And so I definitely wanted to just put that out there, put something out there, put something out into the world that you feel passionate about, and that in my case that I feel passionate about, sharing how I feel and sharing how I process things and sharing, with everyone and making it known that you're not the only person going through what you're going through. You're not the only person who feels disconnected and lost, and there are ways to reconnect and there are ways to feel like yourself again. And I definitely think that finding something to be creative with and to express yourself is going to be the biggest part of that. Expressing yourself is hard. Finding things that actually work with your life and your schedule to express yourself is also hard. But I think that making an effort and having the intention to do something that's for you and yourself and expressing yourself is what's going to make you feel best. I have fallen off, like I said, extremely with the things that I love and enjoy. And I think that coming back to yourself, journaling, yoga, literally doing one session of yoga has made me feel more connected to myself and the things that I enjoy than I have felt in the past 4 or 5 months. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with just not making myself a priority. So I really would just say, make yourself a priority. Make the things that you enjoy a priority. Make your journey a priority, and make finding yourself and expressing yourself a priority. And you're going to see all those benefits flow into your life, and all the things that you want and all the things that you deserve will just slowly start to come your way. And there's just such a beauty in that. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we forget. It gets toned out a lot, especially with social media and, all the things that we want to achieve and the things that we desire. It gets clouded with so much stuff that we get fed on the daily. I'm not really on social media as much as most people my age, and the amount that I am on social media really just drains me out even more. So I think that taking breaks and only doing things, not necessarily only doing things that make you feel aligned and that align with your values is important, but cutting out things that don't make you feel like yourself and that take away from that time you have with yourself and intentional time with yourself is a big part of it. Like I said at the beginning, it's not just you. Everyone's kind of feeling that disconnect. Everyone feels lost. Everyone goes through those times in life. But an important thing to come back to is the things that make you feel like yourself, the things that express things that you were meant to do and meant to share with the world, and that make you you. So when you're not doing them, you just feel like no matter what you do, it just doesn't feel right. Nothing feels right. Nothing feels how you feel like it's supposed to. And I've definitely been on that path for the past couple of months of doing things that I don't really want to do because I feel like I have to. And at the end of the day, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And I feel like that was just an important reminder, whether it's for me to just get out and put in the world or if someone else needs to hear it. But stop doing shit that you don't want to do and that doesn't make you feel like yourself, and sacrificing yourself and your journey and your values and your beliefs for a paycheck or for a job that you hate or for people you don't like, and start pursuing things that make you feel like yourself and that make you feel whole and that make you feel like you're doing the right thing. But yeah, I know this was kind of just an impromptu, random, just talking, but it's putting something out there. And I want to show you all that, you know what? Even if it's not perfect, it's still worth expressing and it's still worth putting out into the world and sharing with people, because doing things with intention that align with your values is what's going to make you feel the most like yourself and the most whole at the end of the day. In the future, I'm probably going to have a lot more concise things to talk about. But for me, like sharing with everyone today was really just about expressing that doing things that align with you and your journey and that feel right is what matters most. And sometimes it's scary and it's hard, especially when it relates to like your stability or just expressing yourself in a way that's vulnerable, but it's worth it. It's worth it to express yourself. It's worth it to be vulnerable. It's worth it to pursue your passions and your values and integrate that all into what you do. And I hope that this finds people who needed to hear it. And I hope that it strikes up conversation. I want to hear from people. I want to connect with people. And I want to express more. But this is kind of like my intro back into expressing that through like media and just putting my feelers back out into the open and putting my voice back out there and the things I feel back out there. This was kind of just like my first step, and I hope that this inspires people to take their first step and continue pursuing things that feel right to them and taking that leap, no matter how afraid you are or how nervous you are or how scared you are or whatever, that at the end of the day, it's going to be okay as long as you pursue things that feel right to you and that make you feel good and that make you feel like yourself. But yeah, I hope everyone is having a beautiful day, evening, whatever you're doing. I hope it's beautiful. And I hope that this resonates with at least one person, because sharing how I feel and sharing my thoughts is what resonates the most with me. And I know that there's people who maybe couldn't wait to hear something like this, or this is what inspires them to just keep pushing and pursuing things that feel right to them, no matter how afraid they are or how nervous they are. Let's be vulnerable with each other. Let's be compassionate and let's just listen. Let's hear everyone for what they have to say and what they care about, because that's what matters most. That's what makes you feel whole. And when you haven't felt whole or like yourself for a while, sometimes all it takes is just a really big leap, or just trying it, just doing it, just putting anything out there. But yeah, please share how you feel, what you think. I know this is a kind of a short video, very impromptu, but it feels like what I should be doing. And I feel like there's people out there who want to connect and who feel the same way. So have a beautiful day. I love you guys.